My name is Danielle Doyle, and I teach 6th and 8th grade English Language Arts at Maryville High School in Beauregard Parish, Louisiana. In this video today, we will be working on Lesson 7 from the Steve Jobs unit. Our lesson objective is to read the poem To Failure by Philip Larkin and analyze the figurative and connotative meanings to determine the message of the poem. Prior to this lesson, we read and summarized Steve Jobs' Stanford commencement speech. Lessons 7 and 8 of this unit are my favorite lessons. I love teaching poetry because most of my students come to me hating it. I love to break down poetry into simple chunks and show my students that they are capable of analyzing complex and abstract texts. I hope you are able to see how much fun we had with this lesson today. So today we are going to read a poem called To Failure by Philip Larkin. And I'm really excited about this because poetry is one of the things I love to teach. A lot of people hate poetry because nobody understands it. But when you break it down, there's a lot in poetry, a lot of really interesting things, and a lot packed in poetry in like a really small, like a small little ball. And it's just a lot of fun to unpack all that and analyze it. And once we do that, y'all will understand what we're about to do and hopefully appreciate poetry a little more. So today we're going to read the poem To Failure by Philip Larkin, and then we're going to analyze figurative language, which y'all are all used to doing because we do it every morning for our bell work. And we're going to look for connotative meanings of words and to determine the overall message of a poem. So what we're doing today with our poem is going to help us at the end of our unit, because at the end of our unit we're still going to be working with Steve Jobs' commencement speech, but we're also going to be reading J.K. Rowling's, we're reading a speech that she wrote, and we are going to write a compare and contrast essay. So the work that we're doing, looking at how authors and speakers use language, is going to help us when we go to write our essay at the end of this unit. Alright guys, so yesterday one of the things that we did was we paraphrased our poem To Failure by Philip Larkin. And y'all did a really great job on that. Today we're going to go back through our poem and we are looking for connotation, connotative meaning. Connotation is a meaning that is suggested by a word or a phrase rather than stated explicitly. Do y'all know what that means?
No.
Okay, so a way I think of it is the connotation helps you figure out what a word, how a word makes you feel, or how it makes you think. It should evoke a feeling. It should evoke a reaction. Evoke means to like produce. So when I read the word, let's see, like we said in the poem, sunless afternoons. Tommy said yesterday, you said gloomy. It makes you think of sunless afternoons, you think of gloomy. So we are going to go through today with our highlighters, and I want you guys to highlight 3 words or phrases that stick out to you, that have give you a strong reaction, or paint a really vivid picture in your head. So, if we look at overall all of these words, caked in silence, ruined, butchered dramatically, sunless afternoons, what's the overall tone that we feel with this, Daisy?
It's like sad, like dark.
Okay, so it's sad and dark. Camden?
Like all these words don't really have a good meaning. Like if you were to use these words, it most likely wouldn't be to congratulate someone on something.
It wouldn't be like to congratulate somebody.
I won't walk up to you and say, "Hey, good job for butchering that."
Are they overall negative or overall positive?
Overall negative.
Yeah, overall negative.
Okay.
Overall reproach.
So overall negative. What about, are they filled with hope or are they filled with regret?
They're filled with regret.
We're moving on to our S section. It says, as you look for patterns, also look for contrasts or shifts or changes in the poem. Look for changes in language, attitude, setting, imagery, mood, punctuation. What you're going to do with this is you're examining the first stanza and comparing it to that second stanza. What do y'all notice about that first first stanza. Is there anything different about the first one? You're doing this as a group. Y'all are going to talk about it as a group, then we'll do it as a class. Is there anything different about that first stanza than there is about the second?
The first stanza. I think it's the first one. Okay. Oh my God.
Okay. Tommy's table. What did y'all say? Tommy, Caden, Haley.
We said that the first stanza was kind of aggressive, and
I like it.
the second stanza is more sad, kind of dark
And gloomy. Okay, so they said the first stanza is aggressive. What words in that first stanza show that you show that aggression?
Like dash me, butchered down beside the wagon.
Dash, butchered, down beside the wagons. What about Macy and Jacob? What did y'all do?
So, the first stanza is more like, gruesome and
Gruesome.
bad, and the other one is like, depressing, sad.
Depressing and sad. I like that word gruesome. Aggression, gruesome. What about you guys?
We put like he is like angry and depressed.
Okay, so the first is more angry, and the second stanza has a more depressed tone. All right.
Failure. On the second one, he was kind of just mentioning, talking about failure.
Okay. Yes, you want to add to it, Caden?
It's not really an ad, but it is something about the poem. I'm just not picking up on this, but he's making more of like almost a hatred note towards failure.
He doesn't like failure. So when he's talking to him, you're good. That's a good thing to pick up on. He doesn't like failure. He's talking to him at first, very aggressively. What do you want to
I
add?
have something to add to what Caden said. So the failure comes into play when he's pretty much at his top. So now bro's very mad at failure because when he was at his highest, failure came in and put him at his lowest.
Pushed him down.
But it pushed him down. But also, is it something that happened just all of a sudden?
No.
Because
Failure's been there all along.
A
So it
failure's
happened.
been there all
It was failure was waiting.
It says you have been here some time.
It's been there all along. He's been there a while.
He was waiting
like-
for the perfect moment.
All this time, I've been, failing.
Just the whistle.
He was just standing in the back.
Okay, really good. All right, the next thing, we're going to fill out our next T. And this is going back to what we did at the very beginning. Remember whenever I put the title of the poem up on the board? To Failure. And you wrote down, that's our very first T. So our second T that we're filling out is examine the title again. To Failure. What does it mean now that you've read the poem? Did the meaning change? I want you to answer this question quietly. Your second T. I want you to answer it. And then when you're done, put your pencils down. What does it mean now that we've analyzed it? All right, so what I want us to do now is I want us to go back to pick a different eye color than you. Somebody who has a different eye color than you. We're going to get up. You're going to give your new buddy, a high five. Hold on. We're going to give our new buddy a high five. You're going to decide which one is going to be the milk and which one is going to be the cookie. Hold on. So this time, our milk is going to go first. I want you to share with your new buddy. I want you to read your first thought, your first T, and then I want you to tell them if your viewpoint has changed, your second T. And then, Cookie, you're going to share your first T and your second T. When you're done, give them a high five and go back to your seats. All right? Find somebody with a different eye color.
I'm Cookie. You're only good.
So what's the title of the
We're going to have one group of three. So Jacob, just go join whatever group you want.
This person made failure.
Okay, so did your opinion opinion change of the story? Yes. Okay, so how did it change, Kylie?
I thought it was gonna be about leading to success, but failure was not. Wait, hang on, that's not he didn't lead to success. Failure led him down.
Okay, so she said that she thought it was going to be about how failure leads to success, but it wasn't. It was just about how he failed at something and it kind of led him to be depressed. Is that what you said? It's kind of interesting. I love doing this. One of the things I love to do is teaching poetry and studying poetry, because when you break everything down into these little pieces and you paraphrase it in your own words, and when we look at all the meanings of the words and how they make us feel, we're able to, you're able to come to a completely different conclusion. And I think it's really cool that we analyzed or did a pre-analysis of just the title. What did we think it was going to be? And then we completely ended up with something completely different. That's kind of cool how we did that. Alright guys, so today we've analyzed, or over the course of a couple of days, we analyzed our poem To Failure by Philip Larkin. We looked for, we also analyzed figurative language. We looked for connotations of words. We looked for tone. We used the tone. And all of this that we used and that we found, and all of the hard work and all the paraphrasing that y'all did, helped us point us in the direction of the theme of the poem. And then we took that and we worked all of that into our writing prompt. And we used it to explain how the theme is conveyed through particular details. So, I know a lot of you guys hate doing poetry, but did y'all find this fun at all?
Yes.
Okay,
It's actually good.
you liked it? What was fun? Did y'all like doing the paraphrase? Who liked the paraphrasing? Y'all like paraphrasing it in your own
I
words?
like the tone because it showed me to look when you're reading at the tone to see a picture.
To see a picture? Very good. Who liked doing I love doing connotations. It's like word association. That's one of my favorite things.
I like when we listed the words out, it had feeling and emotion.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Yes.
I like doing that. Yes.
Basically something to add on Daisy. While you're reading it, you're painting a picture in your head. Say you're talking about fire-breathing dragons, I would think of a fire-breathing dragon.
You literally think of it's very specific, it's very detailed, it's very descriptive. You actually see the fire-breathing dragon, you can hear it, you can smell it. Very good. Guys, give yourselves a round of applause. I'm so proud of y'all. We analyzed the poem. Good job. Now we're at the end of our lesson, and I hope you enjoyed following along with us. I also hope that you were able to see how much fun we had. I cannot begin to tell you how happy it makes me to hear a room full of my kiddos say that they enjoyed analyzing poetry. One of the things you saw us spend some time on was paraphrasing the poem. I really feel that this is important to include this technique for analysis because it gives students ownership of their work. They get to dig into the poem and use tools like dictionaries and thesauruses. They're able to bounce ideas off of each other, and then we come together as a class to write a collective paraphrase. I feel that this gives students a deeper understanding of just how important word choice is in our writing. After all, Jonathan Swift did say proper words in proper places make the true definition of a style. Some of the things that didn't make it into the video were groups filling out and discussing all of the components of their TPCast organizer and sharing their CER paragraphs. Usually at the end of a lesson, I'll ask for volunteers to share their paragraphs. Then I collect them and I'm able to determine if my students met the lesson objective. I'm also able to assess their understanding through our group work and our class discussions. Thank you so much for your time.